Susan Crawford has won a spot on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. This keeps the Liberals' slim majority on the state's highest court, despite Elon Musk spending millions to try and stop her and wearing this hat. Susan, a judge from Dane County supported by Democrats, beat Brad Schimel, also a judge, and former Republican Attorney General. She said in her victory speech, "Today, Wisconsinites fended off an unprecedented attack on our democracy, our fair elections, and our Supreme Court. Wisconsin stood up and said loudly that justice does not have a price. Our courts are not for sale." This election, the first big one since President Trump's second term began, got a lot of national attention. It also became the most expensive state Supreme Court race in history. This is due to the fact that this election determined who would have majority control over the swing state's high court, which is expected to issue decisions on abortion rights this year. So the stakes were incredibly high for everyone, but especially for American women. The election became somewhat a proxy battleground for Trump, and voters were saying they see this as more of a referendum on the early months of President Trump's second term. This is a big loss for Trump and his billionaire buddy and insemination enthusiast Elon Musk. Trump backed Schimel right before the election, while Elon made himself the center of attention by spending a ton of money, visiting Wisconsin just days before the vote, and constantly posting about it on X. In response, Democrats and progressive groups went after him, calling him the main villain and criticizing his push to cut federal jobs and shrink the government through DOGE. Crawford told her supporters on Tuesday night, "When I was a little girl in Chippewa Falls, I never imagined I'd be fighting against the richest man in the world for justice in Wisconsin. And we won." Brad gave a short concession speech, saying, "I knew I had to give it my all, but you got to accept the results." So, Susan's won. You can exhale. But now what? After Democratic wins in Iowa, Pennsylvania, and Louisiana, Judge Crawford's victory is a big boost for the Democrat Party. It shows that, at least this time, Elon Musk's political donations and other weird shit got more Democrats worked up to vote than Republicans. This win could affect Congress, where Republicans just barely held on to 2 seats in Florida. Democrats believe that if Crawford won, the liberal-leaning Wisconsin Supreme Court could redraw congressional maps, possibly helping Democrats win more seats in the state. Crawford, who is 60, won a 10-year term, keeping a 4-3 majority for liberals on the court. This majority could lead to key decisions on abortion, labor rights, and possibly the fairness of Wisconsin's congressional district lines, which currently favor Republicans. The Liberals are likely to stay in control of the court until at least 2028, since conservative justices won't be up for re-election until then, unless something changes or something crazy happens. The race itself was expensive and intense, especially after Elon got involved in February, making it a huge deal for Democrats. His support turned what was supposed to be a local election into a national battle. Elon's vibe there was similar to his schemes during the presidential election in November. He's spending big to support Republican and conservative candidates, including offering questionable rewards like $1 million checks to voters and $50 for anyone who posts a picture after voting for his chosen candidate. Despo. It's giving despo. You know, this is similar to what he did in November, where he spent over $288 million to help Trump and paid voters $100 each for signing petitions, with some winning $1 million checks. Ben Whitler, the chair of the Wisconsin Democrat Party, called Musk's actions illegal election bribery and a threat to democracy, urging law enforcement to step in. Wisconsin's Attorney General Josh Hall sued Musk to stop his plan, but the state's highest court refused to take the case. But hey, it didn't work. Elon's candidate lost. It's being called a win for democracy, which, democracy is kind of hanging by a thread in the US right now. Ben Whitler, again, the chairman of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, also said, "This is a chance for us to show that in a moment that is so terrifying nationally, that we still believe in democracy." Now, we can't know exactly how things will take shape from here, but we can make educated guesses based on Susan Crawford's career history. So let's get to know her a little bit. Crawford has been a judge in Dane County since 2018, winning elections in both 2018 and 2022. Dane County includes Madison, the state's liberal capital. Before becoming a judge, she worked as an assistant attorney general in Iowa and Wisconsin, and also as a lawyer for the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. In 2009, Crawford became legal counsel for Democratic Governor Jim Doyle after he left office in 2011. She worked at a liberal law firm in Madison that filed lawsuits against Republican laws, so she's used to it. She represented Planned Parenthood in cases challenging abortion restrictions and spoke out against the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Two cases challenging Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban are still before the state Supreme Court. Did you hear that right? 1849. Crawford also represented teacher unions in a case against a GOP law, Act 10, which ended collective bargaining for teachers and most public workers. The law was a key part of former Governor Scott Walker's agenda and made Wisconsin a battleground for union rights. Last year, a Dane County judge ruled most of the law unconstitutional, and the case is expected to go to the state Supreme Court. Crawford also challenged a Republican law requiring voters to show photo ID at the polls. So based on that, we kind of know where she stands on this stuff, right? She's got experience standing up to this stuff. At her victory party, she was joined on stage by other women serving as judges in the state, including retiring Justice Ann Walsh Bradley, who she is replacing on the High Court. She got some laughs too up there. She got some laughs. Good for her. In the end, though, Susan Crawford's victory is a powerful win for women's rights, justice, and equality in Wisconsin and beyond. In a time when women's reproductive rights and autonomy are under fierce attack, her election to the state's highest court offers a beacon of hope. Thank you so much for watching. Look, it's nice to have some good news, I guess. Everyone have a nice cup of tea and a relax tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We do 5 videos a week on everything happening all around the world in the news and on the internet. I love explaining things. In real life, people find it annoying, but here on YouTube, it's different, yeah?